and welcome to our web series, Making Health Personal. We are here from WorkFit today to talk to you about just what it's like for an athletic trainer and what you can do to be best prepared when entering this setting. WorkFit has been serving customers in the occupational setting since 1992, and we are an athletic trainer run company, with each of us on the leadership team having started off with our boots on the ground, delivering athletic training services to the occupational athlete. So over the course of this series, we're really trying to answer as many of the frequent questions that come up about our profession and this setting, and even more to help paint a picture for you about why we are so passionate about what we do. So I want to start off just by introducing WorkFit's leadership team to you.
I am Katie Millwood, and I am a Director of Operations with WorkFit. We have Mike Van Amberg, Vice President of Operations, Andy Wetzel, Vice President of Operations, Kimber DiVincenzo, Director of Operations, Candice Nadeau, Director of Operations, and Tony Benz, National Sales Director.
Each day of this series, we're going to focus on a specific topic regarding athletic training in this setting, and we've compiled the feedback of the people who know it best, which are a number of our experts who are doing this day in and day out with our customers as part of the WorkFit family. So today, our topic is to focus on not only what WorkFit's mission is, which is making health personal, but what that means in the athletic training community. So I'm going to kind of open the doors for everyone on our leadership team, and maybe you have an opportunity or an example of what making health personal means to you, and really what you think that means to athletic trainers as a whole.
Yeah, what I love about our mission is that it just keeps us driving forward, is that our work is never done as an athletic trainer or as a healthcare provider. That there's always something more that we can do to engage with our athletes, our occupational athletes, any of the folks that we serve. And I really like it too because it's really centered upon building relationships with people. Healthcare is very, very personal, and we know that people have different various levels of comfort in dealing with healthcare professionals, and we can't serve them to their best unless we take the time to get to know them as an individual. So making health personal starts with building a relationship with them, and then always keep asking ourselves, what else can I do for my injured athlete or my occupational athlete that I'm trying to serve?
Right, Mike, I agree. It's about that holistic approach, right? Connecting with that person individually and treating every aspect of who they are, affecting their ability to work, their ability to be home with their families, enjoy their hobbies and activities, and really enjoy life. And that's what makes it so personal and so connected. And I think too that, you know, when you put that together with what traditional athletic trainers are all about, what we as athletic trainers in general are all about, you know, it's exactly what we're used to being, that frontline healthcare worker who is the first person to be there for that person, to educate them about their bodies, give them what they need, and help progress them along that continuum of care. So that's how I really connect with it. And that's why I think that once you're in it, you tend to stay in it because it gives you such a broader perspective on how your profession really impacts people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say that I think everyone became an athletic trainer because of their passion to help people. And for me, I made the transition into the industrial setting because I wanted to help who I called real people. I wanted to help my parents. I wanted to help somebody's grandma, somebody's uncle be able to be more successful at work and then go home not in pain and not aching and able to enjoy a weekend. So for me, our mission of making health personal, it was kind of my mission as an athletic trainer before I joined the industrial setting. So I really enjoy being able to help real people.
Yeah, for myself, I never saw myself in the industrial setting coming up through college and in a traditional setting. However, I grew up in a blue collar family. My dad worked construction. Mom was a homemaker. I mean, I worked a lot of jobs with my dad, and though it never resonated with me that I had this, clinical knowledge as I was working through college, I always thought about the sports, and I couldn't wait to get to the next season. Couldn't wait to get to the athletes. But as time went on, I stumbled upon an opportunity with WorkFit and got into this setting. And it's been wonderful because the key words that some people have talked earlier about, relationship building, being able to connect. I've just found that the industrial setting has really put our ability to make health personal at the forefront. We all did very well with our athletes. We all had great connections with our athletes and coaches. But in this environment, it's just way different to me. The level of connectivity, the impact that we make on people is just so much more profound. I mean, it's people in their daily lives, putting food on their table, helping their kids, doing recreational activities, getting back to their hobbies. It's more than just the work. It's more than just the productivity. It's how they can have a very fruitful life. And I think that's just really, really what connects us to this setting and really makes our mission, making health personal, so easy to do and so rewarding.
Yeah. And I think, I'm the last to go here, but, I joined the team, in March, so I'm fairly new to the team. But for me, I spent 28 years as a what we call, a normal athletic trainer. And over the last, 10 years, I worked a little bit in the work setting and really enjoyed that piece of the business where you could take what you learned as an athletic trainer and take those skills that you learned and that ability to take care of injuries and help them get better. And I think for me, Mike and I had this conversation before I started in that, what made it personal for me, what makes health personal for me is more about helping those individuals every day, right? You're there at the office, you're taking care of them, you're in that setting, and you're able to give them, something that they may not get. Our athletes always had us there, right? And so employees sometimes don't get lucky to have the skills of an athletic trainer. And I think that's what created, my passion to move to this side of the occupational side. So that's what made it for me.
Yeah, and I think really what's amazing about this setting is what it gives back to me. We focus so much on the health that we do for other people, but I have just been so blessed by the relationships that come out of this. In a typical athletic training setting, you might have a relationship for 6 weeks to 4 years. Sometimes you get that opportunity to build long-term relationships, but you're working with employees that are sometimes there, 40 years, they've been doing this job their whole lives. And when we get to spend the time with them that we do on a day in and day out basis, and with WorkFit having such long-term customers, we get to know these people for years and years and years. We get to see their kids grow up and hear the stories about their life and just really bond with them. And it really, fulfills my heart a lot to be able to see that and have that kind of connection with someone, let alone the quality of healthcare you get to provide to them because you know them so well. So I think that truly works both ways in the occupational setting. Definitely. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead now and turn over a couple questions that we sent out to our experts who are working day in and day out with customers now. And we're going to see what they have to say about what it's like to make health personal in the occupational setting.
In this setting, I feel like I can make a much more personal impact on every single level. I've had so many employees that I've worked with where maybe it was a new mom and, her shoulder was hurt and I was able to help her navigate that process of, facilitating range of motion and more, function so that she was able to go home and pick up her 2-year-old. It's good to know that someone comes back over the weekend and say, hey, you really helped me. I was able to go that bass fishing tournament because I was able to, use my shoulder a lot more effectively. I was able to ride my bike over the weekend. I was able to go for a run and, feel less stress. I was able to earn a paycheck and not have to worry about being medically laid off. Those things for me, it just makes it a lot more personal.
Richie was on vacation with his family and his grandkids, and he he actually said his grandchild went under the water. I think he was 2 or 3 years old, went under the water, and I think he got stuck on a water vent. And the time the employee noticed, his grandson's not coming up the way he should, like he's been down there too long, and instantly, reacted as any grandfather, any parent would, scooped him up and came and got him. The difference is that, when he was telling us about the story, he was very emotional, very, almost tears in his eyes, because he said that, he genuinely felt that the reason he was able to get his grandson was the work that he had done with us, because physically prior to working with our program, he just didn't feel that he was where he should have been.
Of saying, he's like, so thanks for coming out and doing those stretches. I didn't realize how helpful it was until my wife said something. And so he's telling me how his wife was the one who noticed, you're looking better, you feel better, you're acting better. Like, he's like, yeah, we've been doing these stretches, and I don't have nearly as much pain anymore. Like, his bodily aches were going down. And so his wife just thought that was amazing. And so she actually started doing it too. So yeah, in this interaction, right, he was telling me, like, so basically since you started coming down and like taking the time to lead us through some stretches, I've been feeling better. I told my wife about it, and now she's doing it at her work, and they're both feeling just better all the time. They don't have the same aches and pains that they used to have. So that was cool.
You made me take responsibility for my own health. And that's kind of what we do. And when you teach somebody to take care of themselves, I mean, that was like he knew he was receiving a good gift.
I first moved into this environment, I knew sports, I knew athletics. And while I still love those things, and I do miss those things, the ability to connect with somebody on a real level has turned around the way I think about healthcare.
Going into the industrial setting gave me a better work-life balance that I didn't know I needed to be a better clinician while I was at work.
For someone who lives with anxiety, it brought down my stress level. Having the flexibility in my schedule to prioritize things has really helped, again, professionally and personally. And I think when I'm better able to manage my time and my work-life balance, I'm way less likely to be burnt out.
Giving me a better appreciation for the work that my customer does. I just kind of took it for granted and never really thought about how physical and how physical the work that they do is. And so being able to see that on a daily basis gives me a huge appreciation for these laborers.
This allows me in my personal life to be able to schedule so much more. I'm able to volunteer in my community. I'm able to coach my kids, something I was never able to do in the athletic setting.
Whenever anybody comes to you for your knowledge to bring them relief, that's an honor.